Hi, I'm Ursula and welcome to Urs Gets Fit. Today I'm going to answer some of the most frequently asked questions about my weight loss journey. So I'll start with a quick backstory. I have been obese pretty much all of my life and I've always struggled with my weight. In 2014, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy or VSG weight loss surgery. I lost about 100 pounds. I got pregnant, life happened, and I regained most of that weight. In 2022, I found myself at 225 pounds. In 2023, April 2023 to be exact, I decided that I needed to embark upon a whole health journey. Not just a weight loss journey, but I needed an emotional transformation, a mental transformation, a spiritual transformation, in addition to a physical transformation. So I hired a therapist for my emotional transformation. I found a new church home for my spiritual transformation. And I started the 75 Hard Challenge as a way to build mental toughness. The 75 Hard Challenge touted mental toughness, and people that finished the challenge typically had a physical transformation at the end. So I felt that if I did the 75 Hard Challenge and I did it correctly, that I would get bang for my buck because I would not only have a mental transformation, but also a physical transformation. I started the 75 Hard Challenge on May 24th, 2023, and my 75th day of the challenge was April 6th, 2023. I did go on to complete additional days of the 75 Hard Challenge for a total of 116 days. During the first 75 days of the 75 Hard Challenge, I lost 30 pounds. And the reason is because the 75 Hard Challenge requires you to follow a clean diet, no alcohol, no cheat meals. It requires you to drink a gallon of water per day, and it requires you to work out twice per day for 45 minutes each time. So even with just doing those three things as part of the challenge, if you're doing it correctly and you're doing it consistently over the course of 75 days, you can't help but to have a physical transformation. On the back end of that challenge, I started running and strength training. During the course of the 75 Hard Challenge, I mostly walked for both of my workouts. But towards the end of the 75 Hard Challenge and then those additional days that I completed outside of the first 75 days, I started to incorporate run walks and then runs, as well as strength training as part of my exercise routine. I started the 75 Hard Challenge day one at 218 pounds, and by January the 1st, I was down to 158 pounds. I continued to run and I continued to strength train, and by February 21st, 2024, I was down to 148 pounds. That is how I lost 70 pounds in 9 months. The 75 Hard Challenge is a mental toughness challenge. It is designed to promote discipline. And so it requires you to complete a series of tasks every day for 75 days. And the key is that you have to complete all of the tasks exactly the way they're written every day for 75 days. If you don't complete a task or you mess up and don't complete the task the way it was designed to be completed, you have to start over again from day one. So the whole point of the challenge is to build consistency, to build mental toughness, to make you do whatever it takes to complete those tasks on a daily basis so that you don't have to start over again at day one. Now, the tasks that you have to complete as part of the 75 Hard Challenge include following a clean diet with no alcohol, no cheat meals, drinking a gallon of water per day, working out twice per day for 45 minutes each, and the workouts have to be at least 3 hours apart, and one of those workouts has to be outdoors, reading 10 pages of a non-fictional book per day, and taking a progress photo every day. So you can see how if you're completing all of these tasks every day for 75 days, you're gonna learn time management, you're gonna learn a bit of discipline, you're gonna learn some tips and tricks on how to complete these tasks in an efficient manner so that you can ensure that you're not going back to day one. So I completed all these tasks for 75 days, and at the end of the 75 days, I had lost 30 pounds. Now, I did go on to complete the task for some additional days for a total of 116 total days that I followed the 75 Hard Challenge. "75 Hard does require you to follow a diet. I chose to count macros because it was the most flexible way for me to be able to eat a variety of foods, whether I was eating at home or on the go. Now, most of my meals were whole foods, whole unprocessed foods. I kind of ate paleo style, if you're familiar with that, where things are really whole in their natural state. I didn't eat a lot of dairy. I eliminated completely processed sugar or refined sugar, and that includes things like cakes, candies, pies, all those things that are good to us but not good for us. I completely eliminated those things. And I describe my eating style as clean-ish. So for the most part, I ate clean, whole, unprocessed foods. But again, I did also eat out sometimes, and I just ensured that when I ate out, whatever I was eating fell in line with my macro goals for the day. I went to the TDEE calculator, determined how many carbs, fats, and proteins that I needed for the day, and then I tracked my intake against those goals every single day. So counting macros versus boxing myself into one particular eating style has really been key for me, because it means that I can eat a variety of foods, whether I'm preparing it at home or on the go, and I can stay within my goals for the day. So for the first 116 days, I drank 1 gallon of water per day. On the 75 Hard Challenge, you're required to drink 1 gallon of water per day, so I did that for a total of 116 days. Once I was no longer following the 75 Hard task, I did scale back the amount of water that I was drinking. I scaled back to about 64 ounces per day. That is my goal every day. Some days I hit it, some days I don't, but I aim for a minimum of 64 ounces of water per day. Some of the things that I found helpful when trying to get in the water that I needed to get in for 75 Hard was to start early, to use a refillable water bottle, and to just simply carry it with me wherever I went. There were a couple of times where I actually almost failed the challenge because I didn't have my water with me. And so I learned to just carry water with me at all times. Make sure my water is accessible at all times. Water is required for all of our bodily functions, including losing weight. And so staying hydrated is a must on a weight loss journey. If you're interested in learning more about 75 Hard, or you want to kind of see my journey in action, I did document most days of my 75 Hard journey. So check out the videos on my channel. There is so much information that I have provided about 75 Hard in detail, as well as my journey on the challenge. I quit processed sugar cold turkey. I was eating trail mix by the handfuls the day before I started 75 Hard Challenge. And once I started 75 Hard Challenge, day one, there were no cheat meals. And for me, cheat meals would have been eating processed or refined sugar. And so I just quit the sugar cold turkey. I just stopped having it. I had to tell myself no a lot the first few days. No, you can't have this. No, you can't have that. No, you can't eat that. Simply because I was so used to eating the sugar. I had to disassociate myself from a lot of my triggers, including places. I remember that I would go into CVS and I would buy 2 of the Reese's peanut butter eggs. Not the cups, but the peanut butter eggs, and they're seasonal, but they have them every season, right? There's some for Easter, there's some for Valentine's Day, there's some for Christmas, there's some for Halloween, so they have them year round. But every time I go into CVS, I would automatically buy 2 of them and I would eat them. And so I had to stop going into CVS for a while because that was a trigger for me. And I just had to say, no, I can't go into CVS right now, because when I go into CVS, my mind automatically associates CVS with those Reese's peanut butter eggs, and I'm buying 2 and I'm eating them before I know it. Now, I will tell you that the cravings got less and less after about the 3rd day. Your body craves less sugar when you're eating less sugar. The more sugar you eat, the more sugar it craves because it understands that you have a source of sugar. You have a supply of sugar. But once you stop feeding it sugar, then the cravings decrease because it's like, oh, our sugar source must have dried up. So let me crave something else because there's no more sugar there. And so I really had those cravings for about the first 3 days and just really had to tell myself no, but they did get less and less after that. And I think a key part of that as well was that I was eating more protein. I was eating more nutrient dense food. I was drinking more water. When I started 75 Hard and during the course of the 75 Hard challenge, I was drinking a gallon of water a day. So I was getting pretty full with just the water sometimes. I remember I was still on the 75 Hard challenge and my husband opened the trunk of my car one day and he found a tub of trail mix in there, and it had been in there since I had started the 75 Hard challenge. So this is I was probably about 2 months in at this point. And he was like, do you know you have a tub of trail mix in the trunk of your car? You want me to throw it away? And I was like, no, don't throw it away. Leave it right there. I knew that trail mix was in there. And while I was on the 75 Hard challenge, I was instilling discipline. And so I knew it was in there and I left the trail mix in there because I wanted to prove to myself that I didn't have to eat it. Yes, it's okay that the trail mix is in the car. It doesn't mean that I have to eat it. I left that trail mix in the trunk of my car for 4 months. And it was just simply my way of reminding myself it's there. You don't have to eat it. It doesn't have that control over you. You can say no. And as I was completing the 75 Hard challenge and I would go to the trunk of my car and I would open the trunk and see that trail mix, it was just simply building that discipline in my head. It was me building that mental toughness and telling myself, you don't need this. Quitting that processed sugar was clutch in my weight loss journey. Check out this video description. I have dropped some links to other videos that talk more in depth about different parts of my journey. You can also follow me on my Instagram page at EarthSkitsFit. There I actually document my full 75 Hard journey. If you click on one of the highlights, you'll see portions of that journey, but I document my entire journey from last year up through now. I post my daily workouts. You can check me out in the stories. That's typically where I am. And just stay tuned. I plan to provide more information about my journey as well as additional information as to how you can begin your own weight loss journey and be successful at it. If you've learned something new in this video, take a moment to give the video a thumbs up. It would help me out so very much. And if you have not joined our community yet, what are you waiting for? I want to make more great content just like this, just for you. So take a moment, click on the subscribe button. I would love to have you here as part of our community. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.